Hello everyone, welcome to the first video on my FPL YouTube channel. My name is FPL Roxas and I'll be doing my best to upload a lot of videos throughout the season to provide content for the FPL managers around the world. The concept for this video is basically where I interview a few of my friends who I've convinced to start playing FPL. I'll be asking them some basic questions regarding their knowledge regarding the Fantasy Premier League and Premier League in general. Like what was the thinking behind their player selection decisions and so on. If you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Anyways, let's move on to the video. Okay, first up we have Adonis. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Say hello to
Hello.
YouTube. Go ahead and introduce yourself a bit.
Hello, YouTube. My name is Adonis, and yeah, that's it.
Okay. Like before we talk about anything else, I'm just going to ask a little bit about your knowledge regarding FPL. Like first, for the viewers, like do you support any team?
Uh, I support Man City probably because there are players that I actually like amongst the other teams.
I see, like Haaland and De Bruyne, I guess.
Of course, they're the goat, bro.
I agree. All right, let's move on to the next question. So, why did you agree to start playing FPL after I asked?
It's because it's been a while since I played it. I remember I played it once before, together with our high school friends, and I remember on the first season, I think I got I was placed on top of the fucking table.
Well, yeah. I remember you did. It was quite funny though, cause like you were the only one who didn't change his team the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't change the players a single bit. I made the team, then I left it.
But that's cool, cause like it's maybe it's luck or maybe it's just pure skill.
It's because it was Man City's year that year, I think.
I think so. I think it was 2016-17. Yeah, I forgot. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So, like, do you watch the Premier League often?
Uh, Barely, I would say. I'll probably watch it when my friends want to watch it together.
Oh, so like you only watch like the big games where you can watch with the others.
Yes, so when there's like a derby or like maybe Man City playing.
I see. Cool. Um, how much do you know about like fantasy Premier League other than that you first played it? But back then you weren't that involved. You just chose your team, let it be. But what else do you know about it? Like
What
in
else do I know? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know much about Premier League because um yeah, I don't watch football a lot. In regardless, I would prefer uh playing the sport rather than watching it. So
ah
I don't know much about
okay, I get it.
the teams how they're going.
That's fine. So I guess fantasy Premier League is like just a game, but you don't really understand how it works. But you just decided to play it because the others also played it back then.
Yes, but I do know that you can change your captains. You can boost your captain status or something like that, so you get more points.
Almost correct. Almost correct.
Yeah,
Uh,
in a way.
I'll teach you about it this season. Okay. So, like, with the opening questions out of the way, like, let's get into your opening team draft. I just want to ask about everything about your goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, forward. Why did you choose them? Let's talk about your goalkeeper first. You chose Ramsdale and Raya. These two will be Arsenal
Yes.
players. Raya specifically, he just moved from Brentford to Arsenal. Is that why you chose them, or is there any other reason?
Um, I wanted to pick Ederson from City, but then apparently the app told me that I have too many City players. So I don't know. I've never heard the name Raya before in Premier League, so I took a gamble by picking him. I don't know how
It's
will
a
he
good
play.
gamble. He's a really good goalkeeper. Okay, let's move on to the defenders. You have chosen Zinchenko, Stones, Lisandro Martinez, Emerson Royale as your starting defenders, and you have Tilo Kehrer in the bench. Like, can you tell me a little bit about like your main picks? Anyone you think is like eye catching in your team, in your defense?
I would say it's the center backs, which is Stones and Martinez, because I remember last season Stones played well. Uh, he played very well until to the point where even Pep himself put Stones on midfield as a CDM.
That's true. He does play
And
more in midfield now.
yeah, exactly. And Martinez, well, I don't know. He just reminds me of myself when I play football because I am short and he's a short defender as well. He's fast and I'm fast, and we're both pretty aggressive. So that's why I picked him.
I like that. Okay. I like your defender picks. It's quite different from like the engaged FPL teams, but I like it. It's very different. Let's go to the midfield. You chose De Bruyne, Eze, Mitoma, and Kulusevski as your starting midfielders, and then you have Casemiro on the bench. Tell me more about it.
Well, I heard that Mitoma played well last season. Among from everyone from of our friends have been saying that Mitoma is a great winger, and I don't know. They kept our friends kept on praising him, whether he goes against big team or like small teams. But I think he played well last season. That's why I picked him. Uh, one of my friends said that Eze is a good pick as well. Apparently, I think he's a growing midfielder. He's improving a lot, so that's why I picked him, hoping that he improve even better this season. For De Bruyne, well, there's not much to say. To be honest,
That's
it's
true.
De Bruyne.
De Bruyne is De
It's De
Bruyne.
Bruyne and Kulusevski. I've heard about him when he was still in Juventus. I think. Uh, I've seen uh, a couple of highlights of his matches in YouTube, and I just thought he was pretty good.
Fair. I like your midfield because De Bruyne, even though he's that good, a lot of people didn't pick him in their first team draft because they think he's still injured, but possibly he's gonna be starting for the first Premier League game. Let's see.
No, it's like I trust his process. Even though he's injured, the moment he gets back on a good fit level, then I trust him.
For sure. Moving on to the forwards, you have the main man, Erling Haaland, you have Isaac, and then you have Maupay. Tell me about it.
Uh, for Haaland again, like De Bruyne, it's Haaland. I've seen his goal scoring potential back in Dortmund. I remember he was a beast in Dortmund, and first season in City, I remember he was also a beast. I think he broke a record or something like that.
He did.
I forgot. And so yeah, I've seen a couple of his highlights in YouTube where he's an unstoppable force, along with his big size, his height, his strength, his ability to finish from anywhere inside the box, winning aerial battles and everything. So I think he's a good striker. I would say he's a very good striker, in fact.
He's the best striker in the Premier
And
League.
that I agree, of course. And for Isaac, uh, I think I saw him play the game where he scored 4 goals in that game,
Did he?
and I think so. I forgot. I think he scored 4 goals in one game. He's in Newcastle, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And I remember I have a friend who plays FIFA, and I remember seeing Isaac often in the team of the week. So I thought I just thought that he plays very well. So that's why I picked him. But for Maupai, well, I saw his name in FIFA only. To be honest, I don't know much about him, but and I think he's the only striker left that fits my budget.
That's fine. That's fine. So, lastly, I just want to talk about captaincy. So, how captain works is that the player that you choose as the captain will get double the points for that week. And you chose Haaland.
Ah,
Why did you,
yes, I chose Haaland.
why did you choose Haaland?
It's because I believe the first match of Premier League this season would be between City and Burnley. Is it?
Yeah, they're going against Burnley. Quite an easy opposition.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And just maybe I'm putting Haaland as a captain because as a warm up for Haaland. Adapting to the next season of him in Premier League. I'm hoping he scores a lot of goals, so I have more points.
He's definitely gonna dominate again. Again. Okay, I like your team a lot. It's very different. Like a few of the picks are quite popular, but most of them are very, very different. And I like how your team is like that. Okay, so I just wanna have one last question. Do you think you'd be able to consistently be engaged in playing FPL for this season? Like monitoring every result and like changing your team every week. Do you think you'd be able to do that?
uh, I don't think I'll be checking the team like on a daily basis. I'll probably check it once every 2 days or 3 days. Well, I'll try to check it and see how many points do I got, and to see whether I have to make changes to my team. And but I don't think I'll be monitoring like on my team daily.
So basically, like a casual FPL manager, something like that.
Yes, a
Okay,
casual one.
I like that. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you very much for joining me in my first video.
But then thank you, sir, for inviting me for your first video.
I'll invite you again for my next one
Don't worry,
when I need
of
you,
course,
okay?
you can.
Okay.
All good. All good.
Okay, next up we have Ryan. He has actually played FPL before, but he was quite on and off. Like, he wasn't that consistent with it. Well, let's see how that changes this season. Okay, Ryan, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, guys. My name is Ryan. I played FPL ever since 2018.
I think so.
That was my first time playing FPL, and you introduced me to it as well back then. And ever since then, history was made.
Well, you you've been quite on and off like throughout the years. I hope that changes this season, but that's up to you. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna ask you one
Yeah.
question before everything else. Okay. So for the viewers, I asked Ado the same thing. What team do you support?
I support Arsenal, and I supported Arsenal since 2011 or something. If I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, 2011, back when Uh, Serge Gnabry was still really young,
Mhm.
and yeah, that's when I started first time supporting them. I hope this year will be a consistent year in playing FPL, get to know more information, and hopefully win the league and get the highest points so I can get an umbrella from the FPL.
I like the enthusiasm. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I'm gonna ask you another question. Do you watch the Premier League often?
Premier League, I often watch mostly Arsenal games. I try to watch as much as possible, even though it's late at night, like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. But in the weekends, I always try to make it to watch the Arsenal games. But other than that, during weekdays or something, if I see the games that are not too important, like Arsenal versus a 20th place team, I'd rather not watch, and hopefully they win. But other than that, if it's the big games, I do watch it. I try to make it, even though it's late at night. But if it's like the mediocre teams, like a 15, 16, 9, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 place, I don't really watch them.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, let's move on to your team. I really want to talk about this because your team is really different. Let's talk about your goalkeeper first. You have Ederson and Ariola. Tell me about those two.
And Ederson, I love Ederson because his composure on the ball is fantastic. I really love him. He can pass the ball to his left back, center mids, strikers without any problem. Like he can pass feet to feet. That's how good Ederson is compared to other keepers, except for Alisson. Alisson is as well. Like he's one of the best as well. I think it's the Brazilian genes. Like they pass really well, even though they play as goalkeepers. But as for Ariola, I think like hmm, he's a good keeper. I think he has the experience to play in the EPL because he's played in League One back in PSG quite often, especially with Neymar and those stuff. I think his experience is quite high, and I think he'll play often as well. But I'm not sure. Like who knows? In preseason, like he switches position game time with Fabianski, but I hope my bench goalkeeper plays more often
Just to be safe,
than
yeah, I get it.
his. Yeah,
Okay. Well, your Ederson, you said that he's really good at passing. Well, there's another player that just came from Inter Milan, came to United. He's quite good with the feet as well. Why didn't you pick him?
uh, sorry to say, I'm really, really sorry to say this, but I don't really like Manchester United. That's why.
Okay,
That's why I
okay,
don't pick
okay.
any
I get
Manchester
it.
United
As
players
spoken
in
as a
my
true
team.
Arsenal fan, I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, okay.
Not for the
Let's.
sake of points, just it's for the sake of it.
Okay.
Okay.
I want to talk about your defenders. He chose Trent, Timber, Estupinian,
Right,
and
yeah.
Chilwell. Tell me a little bit about all
Well,
of them.
yeah. Um. First of all, I'll go with Timber because again, I'm an Arsenal fan, and I've seen some Twitter threads, YouTube highlights, preseason highlights of Arsenal, and the comments people saying Timber is one of the best signings this season for Arsenal, definitely. So I put my faith in Timber. He can play some different positions, left back, center back, CDM. And I've hopefully like with his versatility, it can help Arsenal move forward. For Estupinan, I chose just based on hype. To be honest, I don't really know too much about Estupinan, but I just know he's quick, and that's what really wingbacks really need. As for Chilwell, his technique is really good. I think he's a really talented player. Uh, his passing is neat, which it's nice to see. Sometimes, like as for Cucurella, I guess it's his competition in the team. I don't really like Cucurella how he plays because it's just really different
That's
to
true.
Chilwell. And Arnold, I just love him just for the sake of his passing as well. He can get assists as a defender. This season, maybe he will get moved to the middle and he can move forward again. Who knows? Klopp has a new tactic this season, especially what happened with last season. They didn't even make it to the big European competitions, and I hopefully this season club does something way different that can help the team move forward and do better.
Okay. I like the encouragement for Liverpool as an Arsenal fan, but okay. Let's talk about.
Just for Arnold.
Okay. I want to see. Let's see. You have De Bruyne, Eze, Mitoma, and Odegaard as your midfielders. Tell me about these four players.
Mm, I picked Mitoma because last season he's proven he's quick, he's sharp on the ball, he can dribble, he's agile, he can go through players, he can score with both legs. I think he's a really good pick this season. Um, Especially the first few games, I think Brighton has an easy chance. But a new season is full of unpredictable outcomes. So hopefully Mitoma does good, especially it's against Luton Town, the newly promoted team, and it's a home game. Hopefully Mitoma does well. As for Eze, I picked him because uh, it was based on hype as well, just as well as Tupinan. Because but Eze is I know more about Eze more than Estupinan because I watched some Crystal Palace games last season. He's quick, he's good. He's a similar player to Olise, but I prefer Eze more because he can pass better. He has more chance to shoot than Olise. As for De Bruyne, I love De Bruyne because who doesn't love De Bruyne, man? His passing towards to find open spaces, especially to Haaland. He can get a lot of assists this season. Like last season, his passing is just out of this world. Like I, I can say he's one of the best passers in the world right now.
Arguably the best.
Arguably the best, yeah. But in the EPL, I can say he's the best
Yeah,
for me. I don't know about for others, but for me, De Bruyne is the best midfielder in EPL.
I agree with you. What about Odegaard?
Odegaard, because his definitely first of all the first main points because I'm an Arsenal fan. That's why I chose him, and he's the captain of Arsenal. Uh, him on the ball is really silky. I like how he moves compared to Saka, but I prefer Odegaard because he gets to pass more. He's more of the one who dictates the tempo of how Arsenal plays rather than Saka. Because Saka just runs on the wing, tries to cut inside, find a pass, take a shot. But Odegaard can either pass or I'm pretty sure he's gonna do a way better job this season. I think he has tried to improve on his shooting as well this season. Well, hopefully he does. Yeah, and I think that's about it for the midfield.
Okay. Well, I think we're moving on to the main part of the team. You have no Holland. You chose Harry Kane and Ollie Watkins. Tell me why.
Mainly because Haaland is just too expensive. Arguably Kane is expensive as well, but uh, never gotta put everything in one bucket. That's what you have to really think about in in FPL, I think. But some people go YOLO, like they pick Haaland, like there's no tomorrow. Captain him, triple captain him, especially in the first few game weeks. Who knows? Haaland. But I prefer Kane because he's just a bit cheaper, even though not much cheaper. But Kane is um he can assist as well. He's a playmaker and a striker at the same time. And wherever he shoots in the box, it's mostly like 95% it goes in. So I think that's one of the reasons why I pick Kane. And for Watkins, I've seen a few Aston Villa games highlights. and I've been seeing that he's been scoring the past few games, especially last season. I mean, he takes penalties as well. He's a good striker. Definitely not as good as Harry Kane, but arguably one of the better strikers as well in the EPL. I was about to pick Gabriel Jesus, but he's not he's not a real number 9, and he's injured as well. So that's about it.
Okay. I like that you chose the Harry Kane as a differential against Haaland. Okay, let's talk about
True.
your substitute. You have Andres Pereira, Maupe, Tavares. Okay, tell me about these three briefly.
Andres Pereira, just because he's the main player in the OK team, I think Fulham can do a way better job this year with their coach. Last year they were doing a lot of better job towards the end of the season. I think Andres Pereira will be a main player, especially this season. Um, he can dictate the tempo on how the team plays, and he scored some bangers last season in MU as well, and in Fulham as well. That's one of the reasons why I chose him. For Mopai, I think uh, he's he can get annoying at times towards the opponent defenders. He tries to go into their head, play with their psychological mind and stuff like that, and somehow he just magically scores. That's what I like about Mopai, especially when in his Brighton days when he went against Arsenal. I kind of hate him, but you gotta accept it. It's EPL is football is not just about on how good you are. It's a mix of how good you are with some psychological actions you take and how you deal with pressure as well. For Tavares, I think he will be a player that once he plays, he might actually do some magic, like what Kyle Walker Peter did in Tottenham when he didn't even play once. But when he played, he definitely assists 3 goals. And I have a feeling that's one of the reasons why what Tavares will do, and that's why I chose him. One of the reasons why he was chosen because just because he's an Arsenal and he's a wingback and he's 4 million.
Yeah, he's cheap. So you're hoping that he does like a surprise haul in one of those game weeks.
Yeah, like Kyle Walker Peter did back in 2020, 2019 in Tottenham days.
Okay. I like your team. It's very different. Cool. I really hope that you'll be consistent in playing FPL this season. I'm gonna look forward to that.
Hopefully, really, really.
Okay.
Especially with interviews, I'll definitely do something with this. We will watch and see who will top the league.
Okay, let's see. Okay. Thank you so much for helping me. I'm gonna need you again for a future video. So, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, no problem. I will be there, bro.
From the answers we got from my two friends, we now have a little bit of insight on how new or less engaged managers think and play FPL. Hopefully they'll continue to play consistently throughout the season. I'll be updating you guys on their teams as well as my own team throughout the course of the season, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, maybe leave a comment if you would like, and thanks for watching this video.